Well, finally, I had to do it. I couldn't hold back anymore. We're gonna go today, our whiskey of the week. I'm gonna take you to my favorite distillery of all time. I love you too, Springbank. Well, today we're going to Edradour, and we're going to talk about some Edradour, and our whiskey of the week is the 12-year-old Caledonia. So don't go anywhere. You're definitely going to want to watch this. Welcome to Love-A-Dram, Scottish whiskey evangelism. Here we celebrate the finest beverage on the planet. Single malt Scottish whiskey. Wouldn't you love a dram? Hey everybody, welcome to Love-A-Dram. My name is Jonathan, and this is our whiskey of the week for December the 9th, 2024. This week, we're gonna dive into my little treasure chest, my little hoard of Edradours. I really like Edradour a lot. I love what they do, full of flavors, and yeah, it's a beautiful place. I love the location, this distillery. I've been there a couple of times, and it's gorgeous. It's a distillery very close to my heart. So this week, I wanted to focus on a whiskey that is accessible. You can go out and buy it, and I recommend that you do because it's phenomenal. This is their 12-year-old Caledonia Selection, and this is a gorgeous whiskey. It's really a sherry bomb. It's got so much flavor in there, and it's been heavily influenced from primarily the sherry casks. I think it might have seen a little bit of bourbon in there as well, but I'm not sure. But definitely lots of sherry, and you can see by the color of it, it's absolutely gorgeous. Dark, almost sort of a Coca-Cola colored, if you will. And it's something that's kind of a trademark of the distillery. Something that they're definitely known for is very sherried whiskeys, and also whiskeys that are doing amazing things in different wine casks, with different wine cask maturation or wine cask finishes. And so that's all part of the wonderful world that is Edradour and Signatory. So Edradour is owned by Signatory, and Signatory is basically one guy. It's whose name is Andrew Symington, and he's you know my hero. He's amazing with stuff he does. I am a big fan of the core line of Edradour is incredible. The core line does include the 12-year-old Caledonia. It starts with their 10-year-old. This is a chill filtered Edradour. I don't know why they did that, but they did. So there's a 10-year-old. It's absolutely gorgeous, but it's chill filtered. Then they have another 10-year-old, part of their unchill filtered series, and it comes in a tube because this is bottled by Signatory. So the Signatory is an independent bottler as well. So you'll find things from Signatory that are from Glenrothes or from lots of other Tamnavol and lots of other different distilleries that I've seen bottled under Signatory. And I guess once in a while they go over in the warehouse and grab a cask of Edradour that's and decide not to chill filter it, and then they bottle it at the 10-year-old, and that's this series. So the chill filtered, the unchill filtered, and the Caledonia are all part of the core line. The Caledonia is interesting because this is actually Dougie MacLean's Caledonia Selection. And Dougie MacLean is a Scottish songwriter, folk singer. He's famous for a song that I think came out in the late 70s, I want to say like 77, 78, called Caledonia. And it's it's a lovely song. I recommend you go check it out on, I'm sure there's a link on YouTube. I'll see if I can find one. I'll put it down in the comments below, or in the section below, and you can check it out. Lovely song, very beautiful. And so he, I guess, and Andrew got together somehow, and then this became the Dougie MacLean's Caledonia Selection. And this is part of the core line, and it's absolutely wonderful stuff. The there's sort of four different lines of Edradour or signatory, if you will, excluding the independent bottlings. So let's just put that all underneath Edradour, because basically all the bottles are printed with Edradour in the glass. So they have, besides the classic range, they have a cask strength range, which sometimes are bottled in these gorgeous distiller bottles that are one-off single casks, and their categories kind of overlap a lot. So they also include in that some of the bottlings that are cask strength, but are also wine cask matured or finished. And you'll often see them on the shelf of your local bottle shop in these brightly colored tubes of all, there's red, yellow, green, purple, all sorts. They sort of reflect the color of the label usually. So if you see it's something to look for, it'll catch your eye. Definitely something to grab. These are all bottled at cask strength. And the other category they have are the wine finished ones. And so there's a few different ones that they have under that label as well. I'll tell you one thing, Andrew Symington, I think what I've heard is that he also owns a vineyard someplace and is involved in the wine industry as well. If anybody knows, feel free to write in the comments. And so he's doing lots and lots of things with really interesting wine casks, and just bottling as, one-offs, and, here you go, this is what, we did. And sometimes I guess they repeat those, but there's definitely wines that I have been exposed to that I had never heard of before. Barbaresco, hey, great. I think it's an Italian wine, I believe. I'm not really a wine guy. I've learned definitely a lot more about wine since I started drinking whiskeys because of all these different interesting finishes. Here's a Sauterne. French dessert wine finish. So these are all bottled at cask strength. So they're sort of three over here selections with the classic range, the wine finish, and the cask strength. And then they also do a heavily peated range, and that heavily peated range is bottled under the name Balakin. And so Balakin, the core release is their 10-year-old for the Balakin. Absolutely wonderful. This is that all the Balakins are peated to around 50 parts per million of phenol. So quite a powerful punch for peat. It is a highland appellation, and they're just like full on with it. Here's some peat, and it's gorgeous. Then what they've started doing is taking these amazing, using different wine and sherry cask maturations with the peated line of Balakins, and oh my gosh, it's so good. Did I mention I'm a huge fan of Edradour? What they produce is absolutely fantastic. The distillery is located in Pitlochry, which is in Perthshire, which is such a pretty part of Scotland. It's one of my favorite places in Scotland. I love it. I've spent a bit of time in Pitlochry, and I just absolutely adore it. It's a pretty place, and the distillery is a very picturesque, pretty little farm distillery. They went through an expansion in 2018, so they basically doubled their production. So there's now sort of two distilleries on the same site, but still the same farm buildings, same old style copper stills, small mash tuns, small batches, but they're rocking and rolling. They're doing everything by hand. It's a very hands-on place. So, and what they're able to produce is absolutely amazing. There's so much flavors in the world of Edradour. So many things to explore. So, let's talk about this one in particular because it's available. Usually, you can find this one or the 10-year-old, and both are excellent. And I really, kind of was a toss-up between them. Of course, the unchill filtered, amazing too. This is so beautifully sherried. On the nose, you get loads of cherries and figs and vanilla and wood. It's so beautiful. It's what sherry can really do. Yeah. on the tongue. Wow, that is just a party in your mouth. Such friendly, happy flavors. Cherries, vanilla, a little touch of leather in there, and some oakiness. Maybe just a little whiff of a barrel char in there too, just a little bit, kind of and a minty, sort of a minty aftertaste. It's so delightful. This is such a good whiskey. This is bottled at 46%. The 10-year-old is bottled at 43%. And the unchill filtered one is bottled also at 46%. So, yeah, amazing stuff. The other lines are bottled a little bit higher. The Balakan, I want to say, is also 46%, and then they go up from there into cask strength range. Edradour is so good. My favorite distillery of all time. And that's hard to say because, you know, I just absolutely adore Springbank and so many other ones too. But Edradour definitely has a place in my heart. And I love the fact that I was able to visit it, although briefly, and have hiked around the distillery. Some amazing woods that are right around there with beautiful waterfalls. And the town of Pitlochry is just so pretty. It's a lovely place. So this is our whiskey of the week, the Caledonia 12-year-old Dougie MacLean Selection. And this is, yeah, the world of Edradour. I highly encourage you to check it out. It's so good, such wonderful whiskey. So whether you like it sherried or peated, they've got something for you. Thanks very much for tuning in, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful week. And until next time, Sláinte.